Everyone, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank
Very good.
you.
Thank you.
Let's start our topic today. Yesterday, before the topic, let me show you some materials. If you wanna, if you wanna review our past materials, please go to this website and choose here, and you can get all the past materials like slides, codes, and even the test data. For example, I uploaded yesterday's code and the slides, so you can open it and review if you need. Yesterday, we talked about how to choose your programming language and how to choose Python or R and the Python IDEs. And here, if you like, you can install the IDE you like. And of course, today we will talk about some of them, how to use them. Also, the code here. So please, if you want to learn it, just copy it and copy them and paste it in your own Google Colab or whatever other IDs you like. And another link is about the question. We will arrange a meeting for the questions. So if you have a question, please submit it here to your teacher, and we will arrange one day to help you solve them. Don't say the time the meeting haven't got scheduled yet.
That's tomorrow, right?
No, it's not well.
They're working on a planning time for that, so.
Okay.
Don't say this, please.
Okay.
No. So let's start our talk today. This is a roadmap. I'm gonna talk about the other ideas, like how to use Anaconda, how to use Jupyter, PyCharm, and VS Code if you wanna do your Python project, and other data types, tuple, site, and dictionary, and if else, well, for loop, how to use the function, and how to install call the package, how to load or write your own data. First, the tuple it's also a kind of data type in Python. It's similar to list. They have the similar operations, so please just copy this and paste it, and to run it, you can get the results. And if you like, just change some of them, like if I want to know the second one, just change it to 1, and to see what is going to happen, like it's got 2. So one difference is that the tuple is not changeable. If you define a tuple, you cannot change it. Remove is not okay. Append is not allowed. So someone might be confused. Why do I need a tuple? Why not just use list? So the first advantage of a tuple is that you can access the element in tuple faster. For example, you have such necessary to access the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday 7 days a week, you have to access them again, and again. So tuple is a better way than list. It's faster. Another good thing is that, as I mentioned just now, tuple is not changeable. So you can use tuple to store your password. Of course, we don't want other one to change our passwords. That's the most. That's the reasons why there is a tuple. And of course, Python provides the ways to convert your tuple to list and the list to tuple. You can convert them if you have such necessary. Now let's go to set. A set is also like list or tuple, but there is no duplicates inside, and a set is disorderly. Please familiar these sentences in your own Google Colab to create a new set, to create an empty set, to familiar with these Python grammars, and of course, it shows how to add an element, how to delete them, how to clear a set. It means how to make it empty. If we run it, we can get the outputs. Say the original side is 1, 2, 3, and then we have 4 here. Original is 1, 2, 3, and 2 is deleted. And another thing I need to notice you guys is that why do we need a set? Why not just use tuple of list? The first thing is that, as I told you, there's no duplicate inside, so it will be faster to access the element in the side, and it is also fast to remove duplicates if you have a sequence, a set of numbers. Like I have a site. Of course, there are duplicates in this site, but I don't need these duplicates. So just set them like this. Say just 1, 2, 5. The duplicates got removed. And there are more options between two sites. If I have a site 1, which is A, B, C, D, a string, and site 2, which is A, B, C, E, is also a string, then we can get their intersections, unions in such a simple and fast way. Let's say the outputs. Our initial sites are A, B, C, D, and A, B, C, E. So they're the elements inside 1, not inside 2, is D. And the elements inside 1 or side 2 is B, C. Let me see, it's A, B, C, D, E. It's disorderly. Remember that? And there's also a data type called a dictionary. Dictionary has such kind of format. The first part is called K, and second part is called the value. It's called it's colon separated. So if we want to get the name, you can use this kind of sentence. Let me see. So the name is XX, the age is 20. And also how to add an element, how to update it, and pay attention, the case must be unique. So if we have defined the age is 20, then here we have another age is 25. So the new value will override the old value. Let's run it. Say the age is, old age is 20, new age is 25. And this is show you how to clear a set. I believe all of these codes can be executed. So please copy it. If you want to know all the keys and all the values, use this built-in Python function. So the keys are name and age. The values are XX and 20. Let's go to the operators. The plus, minus, times. It's just like a high level calculator. So, but the difference is that you can also to determine if A equals B, this command will give you a true or false value. If A equals B, then it returns true. If A isn't equal B, it will return you true or false, and the greater, less. Or, for example, this kind of operators is usually used are used in the if command, like here. If A is 10, we have A is 10, and if A is greater than 5, then print this string to show the result. Of course, here is 10, and 10 is greater than 5. So this condition satisfied. Here, it will return true. Then we can go to the next level and execute the code. All right, now we are in this cell. I need to mention that in Python, the Python style is that we use spaces to distinguish different code layers, and not this branch. You may have wrote some R code. It's like this, right? But in Python, we use space. We use spaces to separate the different layers. Like this is the first layer, so no space in front of A, and this is also the first layer, and no spaces. But this is the second layer. So we have 4 spaces or 2 spaces in front of the second year. And for example, if we still have the third layer, then there must be 8 spaces. For the fourth layer, we have 12 spaces. Let's see what's gonna happen if we have a wrong spaces. See here, the first layer, no spaces in front of A, but here I just tap one space. Then we run it. See, this is unexpected indent. But remove this space. We got the correct output because it's 10. We can set the space here, the site, open site, and editor. So choose 2 spaces or 4 spaces and just save it. If you want to write some Python codes, you don't need to tap space 4 times. Just use TAB button. It's on the right hand of your keyboard. 1 TAB. Sometimes 1 TAB equals 4 spaces. Of course, here it depends on your setting. And also, if we can have the else. So A is 3. We can know 3 is less than 5, so it returns false. Then it goes to else. It will print A less than 5. See. Sometimes we need some complicated conditions to determine, like if A is 5, so this return false, here also return false, then go to else. The first, it goes to else if the first if is not satisfied, then go to this else if it is not satisfied, then go to the else. Let's see, A equals 5. We get the correct output. We can also put another if else on below the if. But pay attention to the space issues. The same layer must have the same spaces, the same number of spaces in front of it. While loop helps you to repeat its style like this. So for example, A is 0 and 0 is less than 5, so the condition is satisfied, and then go to the next to execute the next code, just to print A, and to update A here means A equals A plus 1. Then next loop, it will go to the next loop. A is 1. Then A is still less than 5. Then go to this line again and again and again until A is greater than or equal to 5. See, we can get 0, 1, 2, 3, 5, but not 5, 4, but not 5. Also here, if A is not less than 5 anymore, we go to the else to execute this code. But I barely use this. For example, if I remove the else and remove the else and put these two in the same layer with the while, then we can get the same output. Say 1 to 4 and print is n and a equals 5 family. The same outputs 1 to 4 and here, and we got a is 5. There's also another loop command. It's for loop. For loop can help to process the element one by one. It's also called traverse. For example, I have my list as Python 3 is a programming language, which is a set of string, and of course you can set you can initialize a tuple or a set. Then now I want to process them one by one. You can use for. Say just print Python 3, print A, print A, print programming language, and go to the end of this side, this list, and print it down. Let's say if the same thing is that I barely use this. If we remove them and put the final line here, we can get the same output. Compare them, you can they are the same outputs. Sometimes we use a range function. Range is a Python 3 built-in function. It gives the user the number sequence, like a range 5. It gives you 0 to 4. No 5 here, please. Let's print it. We can get 0 to 4. And these are another ways to use range function. Please use it by yourself. Sometimes we need to stop or pause the for loop, so we can use break or continue, like here. For I in range 5, it means we repeat it 5 times. Then if I equals 2, we skip this loop, go to the next loop. Say 1, 0, 1, no 2, and 3, 4. This is called continue. Continue means skip this loop and go to the next loop. But break, just quit the loop. So if I is 2, then break, quit the for loop. We just get 0 and 1. Is I a generic variable? Oh no, I here you can define here anyone you like. Like here I use I is my habit. You can use anyone like PMP or anyone. Then anyone, you can get the same output. Let's go to function. Here I need to tell you how to use Anaconda and Jupyter and PyCharm, VS Code, because sometimes I believe the students who want to do the Python project, they may use this kind of IDE to write their own functions. So if you Google Anaconda, you can get there. You can it's official website. Anaconda is not an IDE. It's not an editor. It's a management software to help you manage your Python version, your Python packages, and it give you a graphical user interface to do these kind of things, unless you have to use Linux command line. So just to select, if you select the individual edition, and download press this individual one and choose your correct version based on the laptop you are using. Like if you have a Windows computer, please download this one. If you have an Apple computer, this one. If you are using Linux, just this one. It's free for everyone. And please follow the links I gave you yesterday to install them. And today I'm gonna just tell you how to use them. If your Anaconda got installed successfully, you will see this kind of software. Choose the environments. So I have two environments. The base, this is default, and I created this one. So you can create your own Python. Like if you have several Python projects, just project one, and if you need I need to restart it. Here, if you got the Anaconda installed successfully, you will see this, and also it works. If you have a project one, and in your project one, you want to use Python 3.8, and just create this Python version And if you have another project 2, and you want to use like 7.5 or even 2.7, to create, you can create several Python versions or Python environments in one laptop or one computer. But here I believe for most of your projects, please just choose the latest one is okay. Like if it's the project 1, just choose 3.8, or if you have the latest version of Anaconda, you might have a 3.9 here. Just select the latest version. And it can help you to install some packages manager or all package. Like if I want to install some package, just tap here. Say if I want to install this one, just click it and apply. But if I want to delete this one, just click it, mark for removal. And if you create your own Python environment successfully, go to the home and select it. These are softwares provided by Anaconda to give you a simple way to open or to install and open these softwares. Like if we want to use Jupyter, we can install and launch this. For example, this one, you can install and launch it. See, this is Jupyter. Click launch, then it will open the Jupyter for you automatically in your default browser. Jupyter is it's a popular IDE. It looks like a Google Colab. This is your local file, and create a new IPYNB Python notebook file. Say they have the similar, and if you want to use it, just A, B, X1 and B equals 2, and print A plus B. You're gonna run it, just here, I think that's 3. The difference between this Jupyter and your Google Colab is that this code runs on your own laptop or computer, but this code runs on Google's laptop, Google's computer. So if you like this kind of style to do your project, Jupyter is Jupyter is a very great IDE, because it has the similar interfaces like a Google Colab. And If you want to use PyCharm, just Google PyCharm and go to their official website and download the one you need. There are two editions. Like let me see. A professional one is not free, and a community one is free for everyone. And download it. Download it based on the laptop you are using, like Windows, Mac OS, Linux. This community edition is okay for everyone. Yeah, this professional, you can download. You can use it if you have an edu email. Use your edu email to activate. So here, if you have already installed the PyCharm, you open it, you can see this kind of interface. If you want to use PyCharm, you have to create at least one project. Let's create a project. Pure Python. Django is a kind of, if you want to design a Python website, you can use this too, Django and Flask. And this is Google App Engine. If you want to design some Google apps, you can use this one. Let's just create a pure Python project. Oh, see here. Do you remember this icon? This is the icon of Anaconda. It means that PyCharm can detect the Python environment you just created automatically. See? PyTorch, this is PyTorch, and Python 3.8. Again, Anaconda is not an editor. It's just a management software to manage your Python packages or your Python versions. PyCharm is an editor. Now let's create one. This is the root folder of your project. You have to new Python file, like Python practice. Create a new, you have created a new Python file. Now let me show you how to use it. Go to our Google Colab. Just copy the code here and paste them here. Run this Python. Then you can get the output 3 because we want to know which one is the maximum one, 2 or 3. It shows you 3. Then we want to, let's see. We want to know 3 to 4. Then write again, 4. So if you want to do some Python projects, you can use PyCharm. just to create your project like project 1. You mean the color theme? It's go to the preferences and editor, color, it's kind of Monaca. Then you got this color and this style of annotation. Of course, you can set other many choices if I want to. Awesome. Go back to this. If you have a Python project, you need to create at least one Python project name here and create a new Python file and type your code and run it to get your output. So for this one, we can run it here. It's 3, the same output. What sometimes you want to get the input from user, you can use this input function. Let's run it again to see what's going to happen. It has a typing box to let you type in. You type next, we type 3. This class is string 4. So let's just see. Max is 4. Input is a Python built-in function to receive the inputs from user. But the input you receive here is not an integer. It's a string. So this is a way to convert string to integer. And please see these examples by yourself. Actually, they are similar. The functions, just copy them and for example, this one, copy them and paste it in your own Google Colab or this kind of, if you want to use PyCharm, you can copy it here, paste, so run it, you get 1 and 2, because here we retain I. There are so many Python built-in functions. Like ABS is to get the absolute value, min, max, len to get the number or the length of a site. Please go to this link, you can get it. All other Python built-in functions. This. If you want to use some function, please use the built-in functions first. Some of these functions are realized by C. So I'm not sure if you remember. I told you yesterday, C or C++ is much faster than almost all of other programming languages. This is here to show you how to use the package, just import the package name. Google Colab, this online edition I'm using, Google Colab has installed many popular packages, so you don't need to install them by yourself. I believe almost all packages you want to use, just import them. This is the first way to import a package, and how to call it, just use the package name, point, and the functions in this package. Package, I need to say here is that package includes a set of functions to help you do something easier, like this math.cell, math.floor. You can get 2, 1, 3, 3. This is another way. This is another way to import a package. Sometimes if the package name is too long, you can use a short one by yourself. Of course, mth, you can also, like I just want to use m, then import math as m. Then we can get the correct output. For the first two ways to import package, you import all the functions in this package. But sometimes I just need one of them. This is the way. From math, import FSUM to get the sum. And if you import it like by this way, you don't need this package name point. Just run it. See, got a 3. Oh, this is just an example. Sometimes I don't use this kind of. This is just an example to tell you you can change the name you want. In this Google Colab, if you want to install some package Google doesn't provide, you can install it like this: pip install a package. Pandas is a package name. PIP is a command. It's a command line software. It has no such graphical user interfaces like Anaconda. And if you want to install the package on your own computer, use this one, PIP. This PIP provide the similar functions with this Anaconda. It's this kind of software, but a PIP is a command. It's a command line software. Here, let me show you how to load your data. Let's use VS Code to show you how to use VS Code. If you have a VS Code, or if you wanted to use VS Code, then open it. You can see this is kind of getting started, and a new file or open a folder like open today's folder. I have 2 files, data files here. just to copy your code and post it here to load a TXT file. If the data file and the code file are in the same folder, you just need this kind of style to define a data path. But if you want to put this data file in another folder, you have to use this too for Apple computer or Windows computer. Then how to run it. That's the result, Python 3. Let me show you. This is the data in test.txt. It is a Python 3, it's a programming language. Here, Python 3 is a programming language and it's great. So if we want to write something into this txt file, use f.write, run Python file in terminal, and let's say test the text again. I got a new line, my test. Here, write my test. Then write my test. It works. If you just want to use Google Colab, there is also a way to help you upload the data. Click here. And upload the files or just drag them. See, you can see them. Refresh it. And let's do it again. The correct results. And if we want to write something to this file, let's see. Cat is a Linux command line to show the content in this, all the content in this test.txt file. See, it works. Read it successfully. And how to load a CSV file. CSV file is a comma separated value files, and it is simple and fast to load. Let me show you a CSV file. See, this is the source data of CSV file. The separation is comma. Let's load it and print. We have a table in this CSV file. The row names are 0, 1, 2. Column names are 0 and 1. If we want to access the 0, 0 position, you just use this kind of this function, index location 0 and 0. You can get the first element 1. And if we want to write something to this into this CSV file, we use this. Say the original data, we add one row, this, and one row and one column. Sorry for the pandas. Pandas is a very great package for table data. If you want to load the gene data. The columns are gene and the rows are gene and columns are samples. Pandas is a very great and popular choice. So let's do this on your local. Delete them and copy paste them here. Let's see, run in a terminal. We got the same outputs, see here. And we want to write this one. Let's run it. And here is a new CSV file, see. A new CSV file. More one row and one column. If you don't have such necessary to load your data frequently, then this Google Colab is the best choice. But if you have to load data, write data, this kind of thing, you can use VS Code or PyCharm or this, let me see, where is it? Oh, Jupyter. Or this Jupyter. But one thing I need to notice is that PyCharm is a big software. You may need a little bit high performance computer to run it. But VS Code is a light software. So if you have a big project, you can use PyCharm. But if you have just several Python files like this, please use this VS Code. That's all. Thank you. I will upload this codes to here. If you want to review them, you can go to this website. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for your time, students. We'll see you at 1 o'clock at the guest speaker today, but thank you so much again for your time today.
Thank you.